product cost. Shivani, check it once again. P for product P. Yes, yes. Avik is correct. Sambita is correct. Aliva is correct. Sunit Acharya is correct. Chandita, I am asking the cost. Shriya is correct. Gautami, labor cost for product P. Total labor cost for product P. Check it once again. Tini, not correct. Labor cost. Labor cost. 2250 is correct answer. How 2250? Because per unit of P, you need half an hour. For 750 unit, you need 375 hours. And per hour, the labor cost is 6. This is coming 2250. 2250. Okay. My next question. Total machine hours consumed during the year for P, Q, and R. Total machine hours consumed. Total machine hours consumed. Total machine hours. Bhaskar, you're right. Abhik, total machine hour I'm asking. Check it once again. Yes, correct. Vidyajyoti is correct. Shivani, Aliva, check it. Total machine hour for all the volume. Total volume. Not for one unit. Huh? Shriya correct. Asis correct. Total machine hours. So for 1 unit of P, you need 1.5. So for 750 units, 750 1125. Second one, 1250 into machine hour 1250. 7,000 into 3, 21,000. 23,375. This is the total machine hour. Okay, total machine hour. What is the POHR rate? POHR rate through chat. What is the POHR? $28. It is given. 28 is given. 28 per machine hour. The rate for the period. This conventional method of costing. They are currently using production overheads are absorbed on a machine hour basis. This is called POHR, and 28 per machine hour, which is given there in the question. Okay. What is the formula for POHR? What is the formula for POHR? POHR is equal to total estimated manufacturing overhead divided by total estimated basis. Okay, so this is 28. This we don't know. Total estimated manufacturing overhead is not known. divided by total estimated basis. What is that estimated basis? Machine hour. So how much it is? 23,375. So what is total estimated manufacturing overhead? How much it is? Calculate and tell me through chat.
So 654.
Okay. All right.
654
500. Very good. 654,500. Why do we need this? Why do we need this total estimated manufacturing overhead? We need it because if you recall the first class of costing, divided the different overheads on 4 cost pools: travel, pickup and delivery, like that. Okay. So similarly, if you don't know the overhead, how can you divide it into different cost pool? In this question, we are finding there are 4 activity pools: setups, machinery, material handling, and inspection. So this 6,54,500 will be divided in this ratio: 35%, 20%, 15%, 30%. Okay. So how much it will be for setup? Through chat, how much it will be for setup? $229075. 229075. Okay, so similarly, we can divide among machinery, material handling, we can find out the percentage, and we can find out that what is the total cost you have incurred for this setup activity, for machinery activity, for material handling activity, for inspection activity. So what we have done, the overheads now we have allocated to 4 groups of cost pools. Okay. Now, if I ask you, see, earlier we were taking only one cost pool. The whole manufacturing overhead of 6,54,500 is driven by machine hour. But in reality, we found that machine hour is not running all the expenses of 6,54,500. Out of this, 2,29,075 is driven by something different. Okay. So we need to divide it into cost pools, and then we have to find out what is the activity major, what drives the cost. What drives the cost? So if I ask you, the cost of setups is driven by what?
Number of machines, sir.
Number of setups. Okay, setups means for every run of a batch, you have to set up the machine. You may be producing 10 units, or you may be producing 100 units, one setup before production of every batch. So setup cost depends on number of setups. Machinery cost depends on what?
Machine hours.
Machine hours.
Machine hours. Material handling cost depends on, material handling means what? The production department procures or gets the material from store. That is called material handling. So number of movements, number of time material movements is happening from store. The store department will be incurring some cost, transportation will be there, some of the costs are incurred. So material handling possibly driven by number of movements. Okay, so instead of taking one cost pool and one driver, you have different cost major activities which are different cost pools driven by different drivers will definitely give you a more accurate cost. Okay, so if we see here in this question, setup cost is driven by number of setups. Machinery cost, which is coming to like 20,900 or something, had given So this 2,20,900 is driven by number of setups. And what is the total number of setups? 670. You divide it by 670, you get a driver rate, cost driver rate. And that rate is multiplied for different products on the basis of number of setups required. P needs 75, but R needs 480 setups. So 480 multiplied by that rate, right? Machinery, machine hour, material handling, number of movements of material, inspection, number of inspection. These are the drivers. What are the questions asked in this question? What are the points asked? The first point is calculate the cost using conventional method of costing. Okay, conventional method. Second, using activity-based costing. Third, the reason for any difference in the cost in your answers. What about difference you find in the cost? What is the reason behind it? Fourth is, if there is a job which is having this kind of resources consumed, then what will be the cost of the job? So we can use, we are not asked which method, so we will be using ABC, but we can also calculate it using any method. Okay. So what I want, because you all are very intelligent students, this is my assumption. So I want all of you to do one calculation. We already have done traditional method. Okay, I want all of you to calculate P, Q, and R. This is the number of units. I just want to find out the product cost. And I hope that all of you are thorough with this, will be able to find out the product cost. Okay. So I'm just waiting for all of you to answer. Once I get at least 10 responses. So for P, how much it is? Q and R, the product cost. I get 10 responses, then I will show you how it is to be done. Only 7 responses so far. Okay, let's see. Let me unhide the portion. Okay. The material cost is 750 into 20, 15,000. Labor cost is 750 into 0.50 multiplied by labor cost per hour 6, 2250. Manufacturing overhead is on the basis of machine hour. Number of machine hour for P is 750 into 1.50 multiplied by 28. Machine hour I have calculated here 1250 into 28. You will get 31,500. So the cost as per traditional method of costing is 48,750. Okay, 48,750. For Q, the same way. Yes. Any question? This is direct labor hours. Okay. And when you multiply it with the rate per hour, you get the cost. All right. So this is how you will be getting. We have got use of this. We will later on, we will be comparing it with the activity based costing. What is the cost coming there and here? The machine hour used for P is 1125, Q and R. R it is 7,000 into 3 per machine hour per unit. So 7,000 it is 21,000, total 23,375. And the total estimated manufacturing overhead is at the rate of POHR of 28 is 6,54,500. You need this figure because otherwise you will not be able to allocate it to different cost pool. This is not given directly in the question. So you need to arrive at machine hour, then you have to arrive at manufacturing overhead, then only you can divide it into this percentage to find out the cost for each and every 4 cost pools. Okay. So 6,54,500 into 35% is 2,22,000, 2,29,075 like this. So, okay. So what I want all of you to note it down up to this much so that the rest part of the question we will be discussing. Okay. So when we want to move from traditional method of costing to activity based costing, we need to allocate our expenses under the heading of major activities in an organization. And then we have to find out the driver rate. So note it down up to this much. I'm giving 2 minutes time. Thereafter, we'll start discussing the rest part of the question. Is it done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, once you have divided it into 4 cost pools, the second thing which you need to do in activity-based costing for applying the activity-based costing is to find out the activity driver rate or cost driver rate. So that you can find out cost pool divided by the driver, right? Cost pool divided by the driver. So setup divided by number of setups. Total number of setups is 670. Total setup cost is 2,29,000. So this cost driver 670. So 2,29,075 divided by 670 gives you 341.903. You can take it 90. Okay. Second one, machinery. And for machinery, total machine hour, we have calculated this. Otherwise, it is not possible to do the sum, complete the sum if you have not calculated this. So total machining cost is 1,30,900 divided by 23,375 is coming 5.6. Similarly, for material handling, the cost is 98,000, right? And divided by the total number of movements, 120. This is material handling cost per movement. Then this is your inspection cost. This inspection divided by number of inspections. So this is coming 196.35. So this is the driver rate, right? So cost pool, the amount, cost driver, it is also called activity measure, divided by the cost driver volume. And then this is cost driver volume, then cost driver rate. So this is your total volume. Now what we have to do, if we have to find out the cost of product P, total product P, then for P, I need to add first material, then labor, then cost pools. And under cost pools, I will be writing all these 4 cost pools. Setup, machinery, etc., etc. And that time, I will take these things into consideration. For P, I will take number of setups 75. So per setup, it is 341. So 341 into 75. Because in the second part of the question, this has been done in Excel. So you will not get how it is done actually. Formula is there. So that you can only, while referring, you can get it. So here for P, I have calculated material, labor, which is same there in the conventional method of costing. And then setup 25,642, which is 341 multiplied by 75 setups for P. Then 341 into 150 for Q into 480 for R. Same way, machinery, you have to see the machine hour for P, Q, and R, which is there in the top of the question. And then accordingly, this has been calculated. Okay. So what at maximum I can do, I can, to check whether you have understood it or not, I can do one thing. I can just hide this part and ask you to calculate in on your own. Okay. And for the above part of the answer solution, you can refer your copy. I asked you to copy it down there and find out how much it is for R. How much is the cost for R? Okay, P and Q, you just copy it down from here, or you do your own calculation and tell me how much it is. Once you get this total cost for R, share it through chat. I got very few responses. Okay. I don't know why. What is the problem you're having? So 7,01,444, right? So what you need to do, material, labor, and then you have to just multiply the setup, 480 setups, then 87 material movement, 670 number of inspection. For machine hour, you have to take 21,000, this machine hour, 21,000 multiplied by 5.6. Okay, so this you will be getting. So copy it down. Then we'll have a small discussion about the cost difference we are having, and then we'll move to the next chapter.
Sir, while calculating, my total value is getting different from your total value by 30 or 40 rupees, sir.
All right. So let me tell you the difference we are getting, the cost difference we are getting. If you see the traditional method of costing, 48,750. Okay. I just want all of you to just add these three costs, P, Q, and R. Just add these three costs. How much it is coming? If you add these three, how much it is coming?
9,15,000.
9,15,000.
915,000. Okay, 9,15,000. All right. And the cost of P, if you see, 48,750. Okay, 48,750. And if you add it here, these three, how much it is coming?
9,15,000.
9,15,000. So what I want to tell that your total cost will remain same. Your total cost will remain same. 9,15,000 you will have the cost. Okay. But what is the problem? The problem is that when you follow a certain method of costing and you get a cost, accordingly you fix a price. So if you are getting a cost of 48,000, you will fix a price of say 60 to 65,000. Okay. And what is the impact of this? If you are keeping a price of 60 to 65,000, you are not making any profit out of this product P, for which you would have consumed a lot of labor, a lot of other resources, right? So this is the product where you are not making any profit, but you don't know that you are not making any profit here. At the end of the period, when you see that your profit is not as per your expectation, it is because that some of the product where you have calculated the cost and fixed the price is less than the actual cost incurred on them. So here, this is the problem. But in total, you will have the same cost. Your total cost will not change. Total cost is allocated in a different way. As a result, the cost is not coming accurate for all the products. Here in case of R, if you see, the traditional method of costing is giving you 8 lakh something, whereas here the cost is 7 lakh. So here you would have charged a higher price to your customer. So once the customer will realize that you are charging more to him or her, will never buy the product from you. So this is something which you have, which you would like to avoid it. So therefore, we should shift to activity-based costing because it gives you more accurate cost, because we have got more cost pools, more cost pools, so that, and we have more cost drivers based on which you find out the cost actually incurred by the product for the product, right? So therefore, we should shift to activity-based costing and it gives you more accurate cost. Now, that is for point C. Now, point D, you have to find out the cost of a job where material cost and labor cost is like this. So what you have to do, 25,000 material cost, 27,000, 45,000 labor cost. And then you have got 4 cost pools. So you're writing setup, machinery, material inspection, and whatever numbers are there, multiply it with the rate and find out that, and find out the cost of the job. So this is what is asked in question number D, which is your assignment work. You have to work on it. You have to do it on your own. All right. So this is what I had to discuss about this activity-based costing. So in activity-based costing, we have learned how to allocate it to different cost pools, why there should be cost pools, and on what basis cost pools are determined. Then what is activity measure, then how to find out the activity measure rate or cost driver rate, and then how to apply it to find out the cost of a job. And how is it different from traditional method of costing and activity-based costing? What is the problem with if you don't get the accurate cost, and all these things we have learned it in this chapter, activity-based costing. Now we'll move to the next chapter. The next chapter is, the next chapter is just cost behavior and cost volume analysis. Is it visible to all of you? Cost behavior and cost volume analysis?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So cost behavior and cost volume analysis. Okay, so this cost behavior and cost volume analysis deals with first to understand the different behavior of cost. Different cost behaves in different ways. And if you know that how a particular cost behaves, on the basis of that, you will be able to estimate it, prepare budgets, etc. Then the cost volume profit analysis is actually when you do changes to your cost, that impacts the volume. And how does it impact the profit of the company? That we do study in this cost volume profit analysis. This is a very interesting chapter, very useful for us also in our day-to-day business life. Okay. So cost behavior is something which we already have discussed in first chapter itself. Cost behavior. On the basis of cost behavior of cost, we normally divide it into two groups. One is variable cost and the second one is fixed cost. Okay. Variable cost is something which varies proportionately. Okay, varies proportionately. Volume increases, cost increases. Volume decreases, cost decreases. That is variable cost, right? What about fixed cost? Let me find it out from you all. If please switch on your video for the moment, those who are not on video, and let me find out from you how do you see this fixed cost? What is the definition of fixed cost? Okay, who would like to answer fixed cost? Okay. All right. Yes, Itisri, what is fixed cost, Itisri Parida?
Yes, sir. Fixed cost means the cost that doesn't change with either the increase or the decrease in the number of goods sold.
Okay. All right. Anybody would like to add something to this definition or differ? Yeah, Asis, I have not asked for quite some time.
Yes, sir. The cost that will not be changed over the period for a certain period, and so it's fixed. So that's why the called fixed.
Okay. All right. Yes, Shivani.
Sir, if we take an example, regardless of what our output is, we need to pay a fixed amount. That is the rent of our land or the equipments which we have borrowed. So these are the fixed costs.
Okay. Yes, Avik.
Yes, the fixed costs are those costs which are not directly dependent on the production or number of units, and which doesn't really fluctuate in every passing year. It remains stagnant.
Okay, one more, Nirvik.
Sir, fixed costs do not change when sales or production volume increase or decrease, because they are not directly associated with manufacturing or product, or such as delivering a service. Therefore, fixed costs can also be considered as indirect costs.
Oh, no, not like that. Fixed cost cannot be considered as indirect cost. Indirect cost is something which cannot be identified. A fixed cost can also be identified. Now you have to see what is your cost object. If it can be identified, then it's a direct cost. The definition, all of you have given the definition which is partly correct and partly wrong, right? Why partly wrong? Because if you say that it doesn't change, it changes. No cost in this earth remains same. Every cost will change. When it will change, it depends. If it is for a period, no, it is not for a period. Even if it is in a particular period, the cost may vary. I pay rent 10,000 per month in the month of March. From the next month, April, it has been revised to 11,000. So it becomes 11,000. It doesn't remain same. 10,000 rent this month, next month it is 11,000. Okay. So it doesn't depend on the period. It doesn't depend on, it doesn't change. The definition given by many of you are not a comprehensive, inclusive definition. It changes. Why it changes? Because if volume changes, See, if we plan to go for a picnic with 50 students and having a capacity, bus capacity of 50, it remains 5,000, say bus rent is 5,000. But if you, to accommodate 60 students, you have to hire 2 buses or you have to hire a bigger bus. So the rent will change, right? So it depends on what? It depends on the capacity. It depends, it behaves the way you defined, it remains same within a capacity or in a range. It goes beyond the range, the cost will change, right? So if you are not adding, which I had said it earlier also while defining the definition of fixed cost, that you have to add that it remains same in a given range or capacity, okay, within a relevant range. So the definition of fixed cost is remain constant within the relevant range of activity, okay. So this is maybe volume, this may be numbers or something. It is within that, okay. In this context, I would like to give you one example. For example, I use a machinery in my plant. Okay. And with this example, I would like to tell you 2-3 more things which you have to identify what are the things I said. And the cost of the machinery is 2 lakhs. The life of machinery is 10,000 years. 10,000 hours. In an average, the capacity of machinery in a year is 2,000 hours. The machinery can be used for 2,000 hours. Okay, 2,000 hours in a year. This is the capacity. So how many years you will be using the machinery?
5 years.
5 years.
So 5 years, yeah.
Yes, 5 years. Okay. So what will be the depreciation for 1 year?
2,000, sir.
Loudly?
2,000, sir.
4,000? 2,000? Depreciation? Not 2,000. Not 2,000. How much will be depreciation? What is the value of the machinery? 20,000.
Sir,
2 lakhs.
2 lakh by 2,000, sir. 10,000.
No. How much it is?
Is it 10,000?
देखो बेसिक्स से तुम लोग अट जा रहे हो, बेसिक्स के साथ रहो, फंडामेंटल्स को मत छोड़ो. 2 lakhs for 10,000 hours. For 2,000 hours, it is 1/5. 5 years. 40,000 is depreciation. Okay, 2 by 10 or divided by 5 years. Every year depreciation is 40,000. Okay, is it a fixed cost or variable cost? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there was some network issue. So what I was saying, it is 40,000. And then my second question is it fixed or variable? What it is, fixed cost or variable cost?
Fixed cost, sir.
Fixed cost.
Fixed cost.
It's a fixed cost. It's a fixed cost. Okay, non-cash fixed cost. Now what I want to do, that there is an increase in demand for the product manufactured through this machinery. So we need to work for 4,000 machine hours. Is it possible with this machinery to manufacture 4,000 machine hour in a year? No, because the capacity is only 2,000 hours in a year. So what we have to do, we have to hire or we have to buy one more machinery. So depreciation will become 40 plus 40, because if you buy another machinery for say 2 lakh, which is to be used for 5 years, depreciation will become 80,000. So the depreciation which was remaining 40,000 for 2,000 hours of workload, machine hour running, will change when our machine hour running will change. So depreciation will also change. Now, if you are buying it for say 2,50,000, this will become 50,000, 90,000. What I want to drive from this discussion is that although it is a fixed cost, but up to a capacity of 2,000 machine hours. The moment the machine hour running increases, your fixed cost will change, not necessarily to change proportionately, it can even be more, depending on the cost you are incurring. Okay, so the definition of fixed cost is within a relevant range, it remains same. Okay, so that while defining fixed cost, you can't leave this part, because otherwise your answer is not concluding one. Okay, now I'm asking you one more question. Once you know that depreciation is a fixed cost, or once you know the different types of cost you are incurring, whether it is fixed or variable, you also need to know whether this fixed cost is committed or discretionary. Very important to know that whether it is a committed cost or a discretionary cost. What is the benefit of this? The benefit is from control point of view. If you want to control your cost, committed costs are difficult to control. You can't control it. Why? Depreciation of 40,000, can you control it? No, because if you have a machinery, every year it is to be used for 5 years, every year depreciation will be 40,000. Whether you use it for 2,000 capacity, or you use it for 1,000, or you use it for 500, depreciation will remain for 40,000. It's a committed fixed cost. You can't control it, you can't reduce it, you can't change it. Another committed fixed cost is, for example, you have a rent agreement with your landlord. Okay, and rent is fixed 10,000 per month. Whether you stay there, you go outside for 1 month, or you use it for your office, or you don't use it for office, you are having sales during that period, you are not having sales, but rent remains same, committed. Right? You have got few administrative staff, you have fixed salary for them, it's committed. You have to pay salary to them. What is discretionary then? Discretionary is at the discretion of management. Although it's a fixed cost, it doesn't vary proportionately. It's a fixed cost. It's budgeted, fixed budget is there for this. Okay, but still it is a discretionary cost. Management thought of training and development of its employee. Training. 5 lakh rupees is allocated or budgeted for this. It's a fixed cost. In a year, 5 lakh rupees will be spent. But during this COVID period, management is having a lot of pressure, financial pressure. It doesn't want to spend any money on training. Zero. It doesn't depend on volume. It's a fixed cost, but it is at the discretion of management. Management has thought of spending 50 crores of rupees on advertisement. But due to COVID, they saw that there is no benefit of spending so much of money. They spend only 5 crores. Although it is a fixed cost, it doesn't depend on the volume of output, but it is at the discretion of the management. So it's a discretionary fixed cost. What is the benefit of it? You can always control it. For example, if you are asked by the management to control your cost, reduce your cost, the time is not going good, reduce your cost, you only eye the discretionary fixed cost first. Which are the discretionary? So you, for that, you need to know which costs are discretionary in nature. Okay. So here I would like to end the class. I will be sharing this material with you all. You can go through. It's a very interesting chapter. So we'll have a lot of learning from this chapter. Okay. So I will take your attendance now. Avinash.
Present, sir.
Avinash Patnaik.
Present, sir.
Aditi.
Present, sir.
Aditya.
Present, sir.
Aishwarya.
Present, sir.
Aliva.
Present, sir.
Alok.
Present, sir.
Anuradha.